Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Rakah Kadash. That is all praise to the Most High in the name of the Son and the name of the Holy Spirit in the ancient Hebrew. Double honors unto the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Shalom and blessings to the hopeful elect. I wanted to get into the election of grace in Romans 11 and 5 and expound on what the Most High's elect is pertaining into, all right, into his divine mercy and his selection and his choosing, all right, contrary to the doctrine that these false prophets are pushing, that it's according to the law and your ability to keep the commandments, all right, which we have a massive inability to do, especially in this time, all right, like it speaks about if the first law had been faultless, then there would be no need for to search out Slakia to establish a second. Okay. And the law is faultless, but the only thing that was the catch-22 was that in these bodies we weren't able to perform it. All right. Hebrews 8 and 7 starting off says, for if that first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second. Okay. For finding fault with them, he said, both behold, the days come, saith Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Yasharallah and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Okay? So the fault in the first covenant was the fact that we couldn't keep it, and we continually broke it from our inception as a nation. Okay? So to think that at this time that it's according to anything other than the Most High's tender mercies, all right, to his divine pardon, which is likened it to a gift, and ultimately it's above your thoughts. It's not according to any fucking algorithm or anything of who you think or what it looks like. A motherfucker who's, who looks the part more. It's according to the Most High's mind, a psyche that you couldn't begin to fathom or comprehend. All right, this is the supreme creator of the universe. Okay, but let's get it in Romans 11 and 5. Even so, then, at this present time also there is a remnant according to the election of grace. All right, this concept of the grace of the elect is so significant that it accompanies the election with grace. Whenever you see that, we broke it down. For example, the Lord of armies or the Lord of hosts. That word "of" basically denotes a strong relationship or association between two things. Okay, it basically tells you what they're about or what they're of. Back in the day, that they would say this, William of Cambridge, or George of York, right? To show you what you're about, where you're from, what you do, right? Another one, a jack of trades, right? So This is denoting what they're about and what it's of, and that's what the election is and what it pertains to, man. Okay, let's pull it up in the blue letter. Start at that word elect, and we can even start just through the spirit to at the remnant, because the remnant is shows you right there. It 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 denotes quantity. All right, right there in that word, it's showing you that it's dealing with quantity, because a remnant goes into a small remainder. Okay, the scriptures tell us that there are many more that are going to perish than them that are going to be saved. See, and this is according to the Most High's divine grace. Okay, it's divine selection, a remnant, all right, a remainder. Okay, when you go into a moth, right, a remainder. It doesn't get too deep on that. The election, G 1589. All right, ekloge.
Strong's G 1589.
The act of picking out, of choosing. Okay, so this election, the very word elect, goes into the Most High's choosing and his picking, his pick. All right, it says the act of the Most High's free will, by which before the foundation of the world he decreed his blessings to certain persons. Okay, this shows you the only free will that anybody has, that uh, uh, any creature in the universe has, is the Most High Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Okay, who was an entity that was not created. All right, the only one. Slakia. Hopefully this wasn't muffling it. So the Most High is the only one with free will. Okay, like it says, this power that was there before the vacuum, um, which pretty much goes into an absence of everything. Okay, everything, an absence of everything means the presence of nothing. If you can understand that, it was just the Most High. Okay, believe it goes into an un, un, undistinguishable ruin. Okay, that's what it was. Where the Most High was there before everything, it was an undistinguishable ruin, because you could distinguish anything from anything else because it was just a void. Okay, so the Most High is the only one with free will, man. You didn't fucking create yourself, so you didn't have the will. You have no will. Okay, so the Most High, before the foundation of creation, all right, he decreed his blessings and made his decisions for the certain persons that he was going to select. Okay, the decree made from choice, by which he determined to bless certain persons through Hamashiach, by grace alone. Okay, and that shows you that in this time the election is through Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. Okay, it's the only way. Like it says, if there is no other way a man can come up. All right, there is only one fucking way. It says the other way is a thief and a robber that gets put straight to death. That's pretty much what that's saying. All right. It says by grace alone. You see that? So it's the grace of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Okay. And it's likened to a decree. Okay, this thing is like an ordinance. It's an established statute. Okay, this is a statute from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, likened into a decree, man. Okay, where it talks about him establishing the end at the beginning. All right, so them that were going to be granted salvation at the end of all this. Okay, Most High established that at the beginning, but you have to understand that it's through Hamashiach Yahweh Shai this time, of course, right? Because there was no way that you were gonna fulfill the law in this fucking flesh, man. Okay, and this is actually a very optimistic and a very promising. When you say, "Oh man, that's promising," right? That's a very let's get that. If something's promising, it's very ideal. It's a very fucking optimistic thing to look forward to. That it's according to the Most High's grace, man. All right. When something's promising, it's showing signs of future success. Okay, it's very encouraging and favorable. Yeah, it's very encouraging. Okay, the fact that this is according to the Most High's grace, man. All right, and that we wouldn't be fucking decimated as we all deserved the fate from our transgressions, man. From our transgressions from our past lives and as a nation. Are you kidding me? All right. It's almost blasphemous to say that it's pertaining to anything other than this. Okay. All right. It says a thing or person chosen of persons, the Most High's elect. Okay. It says his divine selection, abstractly or concretely, his chosen, his election, and then in the root, it goes to pick out, to choose, right? Of course, we know to choose out for oneself, okay? The choosing one for an office. And then ultimately, as we mentioned, right, this is going to extend out to the nation of Israel, as it says, i.e. the Israelites, okay? Starting with the elect of the nation of Israel. And we know, of course, that this elect is going to be pertaining unto diligence, because the ones that he was going to bestow the grace upon were going to be diligent and fervent in the hastening of the day, all right, and sighing and crying for the abominations, okay, in the ministry and service to the Heavenly Father, to this work, that they were going to do their due diligence, okay? And then that's another indicator in the examination in your requirement to discern the men that are fall within the parameters of the men of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, as seen in these scriptures. All right. Let's get into this grace, into the etymon. This is the etymology of grace. It says, the Most High's unmerited favor, love, or help. Okay? So grace in its root, in its foundation, in its core, is what an etymology is, right? The foundation of the word. When was this word? Because the root is the foundation, okay? When was this first used, and what was it? How was it used? What was its context? And its first application was synonymous and in association with the Most High's unmerited favor. It goes back to the Most High. Okay, this word, this very word. Okay, even in its in all of its fucking translations and usages, because it's different languages, right? It goes back to this root, to the Most High. Okay. Um, and when you go into something that's unmerited, it means it's ultimately it's undeserved. Okay. And it was deserved, but it was undeserved. It was deserved by the faith and works. Okay. But at the same time, it wasn't, because the Most High um, orchestrates the steps of man. Okay. So he was the one that literally caused you. He caused you to do it, to do those things that were going to make your calling and election sure. Okay, so ultimately it was unmerited. Okay, it goes into Old French grâce, meaning a pardon or divine grace, mercy, a favor. Okay, esteem, regard. All right, his goodwill. See, so this is according to the Most High's unmerited favor. It's liken it to a divine pardon, man. Okay. What does the scriptures tell us about the things that we've done? All right. Worthy unto death. It says if you break one, you break them all. Not only that, right? But even more harsh. If you break one of them one time, you're fucked. All right. That's why it's encouraging that this thing is according to grace and not of keeping the law. Okay. Or else nobody would have a chance, because the scriptures tell us this in Romans 3:23, for all have sinned and come short of the glory of the Most High. Okay. Such is the case for all flesh that dwelleth upon the earth since the inception of mankind, man, save a few souls. Okay. Literally not even enough to count on one hand. All right. I mean, we could name them off probably just right now. Yahushai, Job potentially. Okay, we're not absolutely 1,000% sure, but right, because judgment is a dessert, right? Judgment is a reward. See, these are the positive words for that, but no, it is judgment is a punishment for transgression, right? But we could definitely say Enoch, right? So, and none of these, nobody dwelling on the earth are anywhere near that. Okay, this is in Isaiah 64:6. But we are all as an unclean thing, and all our righteousness are as filthy rags, and we all do fade as a leaf, and our iniquities like the wind have taken us away. Okay, just going into our minds, what deceit is in our minds, as the scriptures tell us that the heart is desperately wicked. Okay, is deceitful above all things, the heart of man. Okay, all right. To understand that the things that you think in your fucking mind are pretty much that wickedness and that evil fucking thought that you have in your head, that it's inevitable for that those thoughts to enter into the mind of mankind. It's inevitable, meaning it's guarantee, all right, that it's going to happen at some point, and really, like it said, constantly in these fucking chains of darkness. When you go into the carnal and the flesh, into the blue letter, it goes into this ungovernable, this flesh, this body that is prone to ungovernable sin. Okay, and you can see it. This fucking body, this flesh is insatiable. Okay, so just to understand what goes on in your mind, in your head, that fucking wickedness, that's filthy. Okay, none of us are a clean thing. Okay, all right. So grace is required. All right. It says in Revelation, the 3rd chapter, and the 5th verse. Okay. All right. Salakia. Let me scope something out here in the earlier verses in this chapter. Okay. Here it is. All right. Verse 5. He that overcometh, the same shall be clothed in white raiment, and I will not blot out his name out of the book of life, but I will confess his name before my Father and before his angels. Okay. So when you understand what the white represents, okay, this is something that the Most High is going to do. He's going to cast off the transgression, because that's going to be required, right? To have those bodies changed in a moment, in a twinkling of an eye. You're going to have all that transgression and iniquity. Even though since our conversion, at the time of our conversion, since the sealing in our minds, because that was specifically at a different time of each man that's in this thing, right? Each of the hopeful elect, and ultimately of the elect, of those men, they had different points of their conversion, right? They repented, of course, from that time, but and casted off that the works of this world, all right. But it wasn't a full purging until this time, all right. Like it says, till our changing, all right. But that's going to come with the casting off of all that into white raiment, which is likened into a clean slate, all right. And that is as a gift from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, okay. And of course, he does everything by the way of his right hand, okay. Yahushai doing the work of his Father, okay, doing things at his behest, all right. So the elect that's going to be clothed in the white raiment, it wasn't a garment that they put on themselves, all right. The Most High preordained, predestined, and chose them, okay, to and bestowed that upon them, okay, and deemed them worthy, all right. And finishing off, this is what it's really about, man. Anything that happens down here, the Most High as the man, if you could really picture it. It was like a brothers had a very vivid, beautiful analogy of how shit goes down here on Earth. It's likened into a child, okay, a boy with his action figures and his toys, okay, and he sets up these different towns and these different scenarios, right? And mostly it's of war, right? You're setting up your fucking little action figures, toy soldiers, and all this other shit to go to war with each other, right? And you put these different scenarios in their head, and it gets to the point where the boy in his imagination will act out whole fucking situations and scenarios like a whole fucking movie with the toys, okay? Make them speak, make them interact with each other. All right, that's exactly how it's going down here. If you can understand down here on Earth, all right. You see, so this is everything is according to the Most High's orchestration, and ultimately of his according to his mercy and his grace. Okay, that that um, that divine gift that he bestows upon man. This is in Lamentation 3 and 22. It is of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai's mercies that we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not. Okay, it's according to the Most High's compassion. They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. And ultimately, he's going to have mercy and compassion upon Jacob. Right? That's the brothers. That's the brothers' title of his page. Mercy on Jacob. All right, Isaiah 14. Ultimately, he's going to have mercy on Jacob and will establish Israel for eternity. All right, starting with the ones that that got his the heftiest batch of his grace, in the first fruits of the nation of Israel, starting with the 144,000. Those men are going to get the heftiest batch of the Most High's grace. Okay, according to the Most High's free will, as it said. All right, the Most High willing, we be a part of that number. But any with discernment would know that the Paul spirits that the Most High has set up in the form of the apostles and elders of Great Millstone on down, okay, embody those characteristics, okay, and really what that's founded upon is sincerity, okay, and humility, and into the the uh, the will of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, falling subject to the will of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, as it says in the scriptures, that they that do it the will of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai abideth forever. Okay. So with that, all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai Ba'ashim Kakadash.